Hey everyone, Matt here. It is Wednesday. That is the main event time where we go over our main topics for the week. So if you're watching or listening, this is the meat and potatoes of the episode. If we happen to have any news to discuss as well, that's where we'll talk about it here. For the full episode, check us out on Saturdays. Thanks for watching and listening. Hope you enjoy. Welcome back to another episode of Stack Your Points. As always, I'm Matt Clausen from the Matt Clausen YouTube channel. It's Monday night. I am not wearing my hoodie because, damn it, as I was reminded over the weekend, it's not a onesie. Anyway, we are joined this week by RJ from Do You Take Cards. RJ, how are you today?
I don't know how to podcast without Matt in his onesie.
We will learn tonight. Also joined by Lani from the Call Me Lani YouTube channel. Lani, how are you today?
I am wearing my hoodie because I feel safe and comfortable underneath it. Take
Somebody
that how
looked
you wanna.
Somebody looked at the pre-markets this morning and just went, I need comfort. Yep.
Yep.
And finally, we're joined by Tariq from Tariq's Rewards. Tariq, how are you today?
I'm good, although there was a major loss in the state of Texas today. Houston lost the national championship at the Alamo Dome in San Antonio because Ted Cruz can't keep his mouth shut.
I'm glad we're blaming Ted Cruz and not, ball handling skills.
It's the Cruz curse. He opened his mouth and started making a bet. The last time he did it was Texas, Ohio State in the basketball. The Ted Cruz curse is real.
I'm going to say something that gets said a lot at hockey games, stupidly said at hockey games, but in this case, it would work. Shoot the ball. Anyway, and we will start our topics, actually, because we have no news at the moment. Amex Platinum credits got updated today. Check out my video on it. It's nothing major. We're going to start our topics with Tariq this week.
Business platinum.
Business Platinum credits got updated. Yeah, nothing major.
Ooh,
Dell wants you to spend money at Dell. What do you?
My topic. Let's have some fun today. So, over the weekend, well-renowned finance expert Ramit Sethi, author of the books I Will Teach You to Be Rich and also Money for Couples, decided to stir the pot a little bit in the credit card community. He posted a video regarding his 3 favorite credit cards, or the ones that he recommends. But in the intro of the video, he took a few jabs at the community, basically calling the community and YouTubers grifters because they all have affiliate links and they only use those cards who can use their affiliate links. And there was a screenshot and a few creators caught a stray, including our beloved Lani, on his maybe one of 3 Amex Platinum videos of his entire video lineup, and that's not even including members only. So he even said something along the lines of they use affiliate points that are equivalent. He equivalated 40,000 MR points to $100 or $400. You can cash out MR points at 1 cent per point for cash. It's not without loopholes. But anyway, we all know that the credit card community in the credit card game is a niche within the niche that is the niche of the personal finance space. My question is, when it comes to generalized criticisms like the one we got from Ramit, how should we, take that in regard, and if there is a response? I know certain YouTubers drop members only videos in response to it. Is it even worth responding? I just want to hear y'all's takes from it. And I'm going to start with Lani because his face was on the screenshot in the stray.
Yeah. So first off, I don't think the dude ever actually watched my video. He didn't mention me at all.
No, he
It was
didn't.
he clearly typed in MX Platinum in the search bar, and the thumbnails that showed up, he took a screenshot of. And I just happened to be one of those thumbnails because that video is actually doing pretty well when it comes to views and engagement from those who watch it. Going to Tariq's question, first off, I never knew this dude existed. And you know what? I'm going to be really real here. To say that we are in it just for the referrals and all that is hot garbage. The other, because like if you're listening to this episode right now, our Stack Your Points channel is not monetized, and we're here every single week. So we are clearly not in it for the money, at least not yet, because we ain't getting nothing. We don't get paid off of any of this. So we're doing it for the fun and the education. Literally, how every single YouTube creator starts. No channel starts off monetized, period. So you at some point you're doing it for yourself or you're doing it for someone else. Providing education, that is. Um, the other thing of it is that to say that is slightly hypocritical because after he said it, he actually did a sponsored ad on that video.
That
I
was
think
the hilarious of
there
it.
were two in that same video, and I didn't even watch the whole video, but there were actually two if you pay attention, in which he's trying to, sing for his supper, panhandle, shake his little tin cup or whatever you want as well. Now, I'll say it like this: I do not mind at all bringing up uh saying that like, hey, I got a referral link. And I do it for two reasons. One, it proves that I actually am talking about a card that I have. That's the first thing. So that way, I'm not just speaking out of the left booty cheek. I am honest. I honestly have this card. And so I am giving you my direct experience off of it. The other aspect of it is YouTube don't pay that much, y'all. And so if you get any value, there's hitting the like button, there's hitting the subscribe button. But if you're like, yo, I just watched Tariq's video. Now, sorry, Tariq, I'm not coming at you, I promise. I just realized what I had did there.
It's
But
okay. I know what I did.
if you're watching Tariq's video and you're like, wow, I learned something, I got something, I was entertained, I was informed in any way, I think I might jump and get this. Unless you have a friend, a sibling, a relative, a cousin, or something to use a referral link off of, then yeah, it's highly appreciative to use the one that flipped that switch for you, the one that, sold you on it. So I don't find anything wrong with that. So let me just get all that out of the way because I think almost in every single video, I'll tell you, I got a link tree with all my links in there. They're not with Amex or Chase or anything like he had said. I'm not getting $400 a referral. I'm getting this what you see in your account, 10,000 points, maybe 20,000 on a promotion. That's it. So I don't feel bad about it. And like I said, I'm not asking for much. I'm not asking for anything else. And I'm going to keep putting these videos out with the highest quality and the most amount of education of real experiences that I have. So I disagree with everything that the complete basis and context of his particular video, which goes back full circle. He did it for views and clicks. I had mentioned earlier in the episode, people love drama, people love negativity. And to be like, these people are dumb or these people don't know what they're talking about, is instantly going to get clicks. It's instantly going to get clicks. If I did a video tomorrow that said, I'm canceling my United Mileage Plus Explorer card, it's going to be the best video I ever put out.
You could have dropped that 6 days ago at the time of this recording.
Right. It's going to get so many views and clicks because no one wants to hear, hey, this dude really flies United all the time and he loves it. But if I told you I no longer love it, oh yeah, y'all be all over that. Like, oh, drama. Pull out your phones. Let's record this, right? So I will say it like this to actually get to the point of Tariq's question. Is it okay for people in a sibling, brethren niche to comment on ours? Absolutely. It's okay. He's allowed to have his opinion. I'm not going to take his opinion away from him. I'm not going to take, you can call it his free speech if you want to. I'm not going to take that away from him either. He clearly did not do his research. And that's where I have an issue. If you're going to like cross the aisle, make sure you do your research first. Why am I not going to talk about personal finance? Because I don't do that type of research. I'm not going to go and say anyone that makes a video on high yield savings accounts is dumb and they don't know what they're talking about. I'm not in that world. I don't pay attention to it that much. I'm not into the, run the banks like like RJ Financial or Fat Stack Nate of Fat Stacks Academy. I don't live in that world. I don't pay attention to it. So for me to go and say that they're just doing it for whatever, or this is not how you're supposed to make money, it would be dumb of me. And that's what I feel this guy did. Where do you need to have a lot of credit cards to travel? In most cases, this community is primarily cards for points to travel. No, you don't. But when you're like, I only need these 3 cards, and two of them are like cash back, well, you're not in the same thing. When you start off a video that says, I've got like $6,000 worth of travel by using 1 million points, you did something wrong. You aren't in this world. You messed up. Like, let's call that hashtag travel fail. You messed up. Someone got you. Someone put it right on your right booty cheek in this case. So does he have the right to comment, Tariq? The answer is yes. Did he do it well? Absolutely not. To the point where he had to actually put a pinned comment of a retraction because everyone came at him and be like, dude, what are you talking? Don't go after Daniel Braun like that. Daniel Braun's a friend of myself and my channel. He subscribed to me as my channel. I've met him in person a couple of times. Super cool dude, much taller in person than he is on screen. And dude's legit. He's been doing it. Him and Spencer Johnson are 2 people that started from the beginning and almost categorized and recorded every single step along the way. So it doesn't matter if you like him or not, but at least I can say that his information is valid. This guy, on the other hand, clearly did not do his research because, the proof is in the pudding. If you want to go watch the video, yes, he'll get another view off of it, whatever, I don't care. But if you want to see how not to do it, how not to cross the aisle, that's a great example.
That's the crazy thing is I actually like Ramit's stuff, finance side. I understand his concept of the simplicity, automate your, finance and whatnot. So the credit card game, to the extent that we play it, is not simplistic. But I think him essentially just calling the YouTube community a bunch of grifters and shills is, definitely disingenuous.
Well, to add on top of that, and there's 2 things that you guys to know. So you can actually see what trends happen across YouTube. In the credit card space, Amex Platinum is a really high trend right now, meaning if you make a video or something in regards to Amex Platinum, and that's in your metadata, like the tags for those that are YouTube creators, if you're not a YouTube creator, when you upload a video, there's certain tags, not just hashtags, little things to say what this video is about. If that happens to be Amex Platinum, it's going to instantly get more views because the overall algorithm says most people like to click on this view or this type of topic, which is right now one of those high topics is the Amex Platinum. Once again, going back to his video, if he's talking about creators, why is he introing Amex Platinum? And you can actually see what people put in their metadata. There's different sites that can actually pull that out from YouTube videos, things like that. So you can actually see it. Why is he going Amex Platinum? For the same reason everyone else. But his is actually disingenuous because his video is not about the Amex Platinum. But so why is he bringing it up? For the views.
What's hilarious is when he goes through his top 3, he has the Sapphire Reserve and the American Express Platinum. But just in the nature of him like trying to practice what he preaches, he doesn't leave the affiliate links on the cards just because, he makes enough money to where he doesn't need the points. But I'm just like, we talk about the cards that we have and use them to the extent where, hey, like you said, we're not multi-millionaire authors, New York Times bestselling authors. We can afford to get some of the points that we use for travel because we can't just drop $5,000 on a flight whenever we feel like it. So
yeah, and I don't think I've actually met anyone else that has a reserve and a platinum and uses them as they're both made intended. I know like Luke's Points and Miles has like upgraded his Sapphire to a CSR. Like he's gone up, he's gone down, same as Joe Barretto, etc. But and I'm just speaking for myself, someone that's been stagnant, never let go of my platinum. Well, never let go of my CSR. Yes, I've only recently got my platinum in 2024, but actually uses both of them. I mean, no offense, y'all, but I'm in fine hotels and resorts on a side screen right now because I just got a text of like, hey, we're going somewhere this week. And I'm like, all right, cool, let me book because this says there's only 5 rooms left. So if you see me looking off to the side, I'm literally booking a trip as we speak. Still paying attention to everything that's going on though. Don't worry about it. But I got to get this in before they run out of rooms. But anyway.
Pay no attention to the man behind the curtain.
I do this, people. This is real life. This is my real life. Like, hey, let's take a trip in this month. All right, cool. Hold on, I'm in the middle of something, but I can do two things at once. But anyway, I don't think he might actually have those cards. He's clearly not using them properly because if you only got $6,000 over 1 million points of travel, you messed up somewhere. But that's where I'm gonna leave it. I'm not bitter. Like I said, he didn't call me out. He didn't say anything about me. Didn't reference any of my videos, but my thumbnail did show up in his screenshot. So I feel like I have the right to speak my mind now. And that's it. There won't be a reaction video. There won't be a response video. This is probably all you're going to get because honestly, I'm a grown man. I got other things to worry about. And I honestly don't care. Unless he's going to give me, some of his 800,000 subscribers, then we can talk. But if not, tomorrow's another day. I gotta work.
Very true. And I appreciate that. I'm glad I went to you first because I knew you were gonna have a lot to say. Speaking of people who have a lot to say, I'm gonna go to my another person who owns an American Express Platinum card. RJ, what were your thoughts on that video? And do you feel like there should be like a certain, if there needs to be a response, or like how should we take what Ramit or other people that are critical to credit cards or the community say?
Salt. You should take it with a grain of salt.
A lot of salt.
Element salt.
Yes. So
Mango chili.
Here's what I would say, right? There is personal finance or whatever has a lot of different subjects in it, right? You've got credit cards, you've got bank stuff, you've got investing, you have all most people are not a subject matter expert, to use a term from the corporate world, about everything, right? Like most people do not have that level of expert in everything. I don't know this person. I don't know their work. I don't know how much they're a subject matter in what they're talking about. I assume, you can be on the New York Times bestseller for good reasons and bad, right? So I can't say just because he's done that he knows what he's talking about any more than I can say that the people who write historical fiction know actual history when they, write it. I don't know. What I can say is, anytime you step into a subject that you're not actually a subject matter expert on and you pretend that you are, that's a problem, right? Like if I was to talk about football, a subject that I care a lot about, a subject that I watch every Sunday, I could not present myself as if I was, Al Michaels, right? Because I'm not. And I don't have that expertise, right? And I don't have those years of experience and I don't have that credential. I have to say, I have to present myself the way I am. And if you go into another related space to how you are and you're presenting yourself as an overall expert and you're not, I think that is a problem. Now, I have not watched this video. I don't intend to watch this video. I have no interest in watching this video. But I think that anytime you do that, anytime you go into a new topic and you don't sort of state the point of view you're coming from, it's a problem. Now, here's the thing. Every single one of us know YouTubers on the credit card side that are grifters. All of us do. Most people watching this have watched the videos, and we know there are grifters. The people that he is specifically calling out by a screenshot would not be at the top of my list of those people. They're the names that people are going to know, so you're going to get a reaction, but I don't necessarily. But another part of the problem in going into a space you don't know is you don't necessarily know the reaction you're going to get for people. So then you have to pin comments that are sort of a half apology because you don't know what you're getting into, right? I am not a fan of a lot of pop music, but if I was going to make a list of like overrated celebrities and I put Beyonce and Taylor Swift on that list, I would expect to have my house firebombed, right? Like people, if you go for people that are popular in a space and you call them overrated and they have fans that can be voracious, you kind of have to expect the fans are going to be voracious, right? Like, and for the record, Beyonce and Taylor Swift are probably not overrated. It depends on how you rate them, and I'm not getting into that. Please, they're fine. They're wonderful people and lovely musicians. Anyway, um, but that's the problem, right? Like you can't go into a space where you're not an expert, present yourself as an expert, take shots at people who are well known and popular and who do good work in that field and expect to walk away unscathed. Especially when, like Lani said, the research of which you're talking about for those cards isn't necessarily as sound as it could be. There is one person on this panel that can get 1 cent per point at Amex, and it's me because I have an Amex business card and an Amex business checking account. Everybody else on this panel, if we were all to have platinums, cannot get 1 cent per point from Amex. And it is such a narrow amount of people that have both the Amex Business Platinum and the Amex Business Checking Account, because that Amex Business Checking Account can't connect to the Amex Personal Checking Account. So a lot of people are not, and the only account it can go out to is another business account. So there are so few people willing to follow that chain for simply 1 cent per point that most people just don't, right? So they don't cash out their Amex points, which is something that Matt talks about a lot. Another person that probably knows more about credit cards than somebody just interloping into the field. I'm comfortable to say that Matt knows a lot about credit cards. I will stake my reputation on Matt knows a lot about credit cards. But that's the problem, right? If you go into another field, you're opening yourself up for those criticisms. All of us have made mistakes on this podcast, but we've all made mistakes in good faith. We have all said something that may have been right at the time, and then updates to terms change. You know, a credit changed 6 months ago, and we just didn't think about it because it's not a credit we use a lot. Things like that happen. But all of us are coming in good faith. All of us spend a lot of time thinking about this subject. I would say, for the record, that I don't believe any of my co-hosts are grifters. I have gotten one sub from a referral link in the entire time I have done credit cards, and it was like a 10,000 Delta sub, and it was not even from a video. It was somebody asked me for a link. So here's the thing, like creators, like Lani said, creators are not doing this for vast wealth. There are very, very few people who are making any real amount of points and miles off of this. A very, very small group of people. And even those people probably aren't making as much as you think. They're making more than most people, but they're making less than you actually think off of this. Honestly, most of the people that are actually doing this and making a lot of money are making it from secondary income sources and using that to fund the credit cards. Like that's where their money is coming from. So I think that anytime somebody is new in a field, you need to take them with a grain of salt until they prove their expertise in that field. Whether you think any of us have done that, that's up to you to decide. Like, this is the true do your research on the people you're talking about. Listen to what they're saying. You know, listen to, if I say something that you just don't think makes sense, that's okay. I might say other things that you think make sense. Same for all of my co-hosts. Like, you do actually have to do your research. Like, yeah, if I say that the Dunkin' credit is $86, like you probably could, like that's an easily verifiable thing. If I say that like I can't get any, you know, Delta flights through a third party out of my regional airport, you probably don't have to research that because I have researched that a lot, right? Like there are things you can research and there are things that you can sort of just take people at their word for. Where that line is, you decide, right? Everybody decides what they're willing to take people on their word for. So ultimately, my point is take it with a grain of salt if somebody is new to a space. Um, if you have somebody that you've trusted, like this is not a case of like somebody did something bad. Somebody's just pointing out that people are using referral links and they seemingly are mad about it while also doing sponsorships. So I don't know, man. Like, welcome to the community. You got your first flame. Enjoy it.
I think the problem with that is I know he doesn't care. I think it's just ridiculous that he just said what he said, especially because he really only uses the platinum card for the lounges, which realistically a lot of people just use the platinum card for the lounges unless you're in the community and yeah, you have the credits, but like he's like, "Oh yeah, I pay $6.95 for the card. I love it just for Centurion Lounge." I'm like,
But
"That's
here's
it?"
the thing, if you're wealthy, these cards don't matter at all. Like if
True.
you make $1 million a year, 650, 695 is nothing, right? Like if it is 0.01% or whatever of your yearly income, then yeah, you can get a card just for lounge. You could get the Sapphire Reserve just because you like how it looks in your wallet if you wanted, right? Like at that amount, however much this person has, both personally and family wise, like you can just get it because you want one feature off of that card. So I don't so much care about that, but like you got to know what you're talking about. If you want to make a video, you got to know what you're talking about. And if you don't care, that's going to come off to the people list. Like you're not going to get a bunch of people subscribing to you if you go into the credit card space and are talking nonsense about credit cards. Like you're just not going to actually get what you want out of that, which is a lot of people subscribing to you and giving you money in the ways that they can give you money through clicking on your sponsor link or whatever. So at the end of the day, all you're hurting is yourself,
True.
because you're not, and you might have lost some people who do know credit cards who followed you for other reasons and now don't trust the things that you were saying for other topics, right? Like, so it's a gamble, and I don't think it's a gamble that usually pays off.
I just find it funny when he was talking about the I have the screenshot up because I sent it into Stack Your Points. Um, Looking at the thumbnails that he did on the videos, 4 out of the 6 were just like, "Hey, here's things you should do if you want to maximize the benefits of the platinum card." The other two, one was a review, and the other was Lonnie's 10 reasons why you should probably get the card. So like we had one review that could potentially like two of the videos that could potentially be like oh yeah, he might be grifting. But again, we know Lonnie. Lonnie's not a grifter. He just talks about the cards that he has because Lonnie is the travel expert out of the 4 of us. And yeah, the other one is a review of the card, which for the most part is just someone probably reading over the benefits of like reading over the page of the card, like the web page. So it is what it is. So that's hilarious. But
You're not
speaking
gonna
of
please everybody. Like
yeah,
no one person is for everybody.
but right. So speaking of subject matter experts and people that know credit cards, my last person I want to ask, Matt, what's your take on the whole thing?
This is the only video of Ramit's that I've seen. I thought it was dumb. I thought it was bro sitting in Gilligan country and decided to go down to Quadland country and make a couple dollars. That's going to be a double reference, and if you get it, let me know in the Stack Your Points Discord. Um, it, it okay, cool. You want to call out grifters? Fine. Actually, call out grifters. If you don't want to call out grifters and you just want to make a quick hit as part of a video about the only 3 credit cards that you're going to use, drop it. Like you're not doing anything useful. Like tell us the 3 cards, which he did. I mean, it's 2 cashback cards where one of the cashback cards is cashback via points, whatever, and the Amex Platinum. Cool. I am sure if Ramit needed more credit cards, he would get more credit cards. I don't need a guy who's big in personal finance. And it's Rich talking about credit card YouTube being an area of grift when he's a subject matter expert in personal finance YouTube.
Like, there are not always good actors in that side of things either. So yeah, I would have to watch more of his videos, but honestly, I think he was just looking for something that was going to get a quick hit of views, something that that would complete whatever obligation he had on his element read, which is going to pay more than any YouTube video is going to pay at any given time. Like, unless your videos are consistently getting 100,000, 200, 500, a million views, like, you're not getting paid significant amounts of money. Like, I have videos that have hit 5,000 views. Now, yes, I have not hit like that 10,000 view mark yet on any particular video. I make in a good month, I make about $320. In a bad month, I make about $200. Like, those are not bill paying amounts that I'm making through the YouTube Partner Program. Yeah. So, do I think the community needs to respond? No, man. Just let the water slide off your back on this one. Don't, just move on.
Yeah, Matt, after taxes, we can afford the double stack patty and the large fry. That's about it.
Well, it depends on where we're ordering from.
Well, from the YouTube side, YouTube, like
Yeah.
I said, YouTube doesn't really pay that much, y'all.
Yeah.
So after taxes, Matt can get a Sapphire Preferred every month and pay that annual fee, and he's all set. So he can have a new Sapphire Preferred for every month of the year.
Matter of fact, I should start going to Atlanta. Anyway, I don't know that we need particularly more responses on it. It is what it is. It's just shock value. I don't think Ramit's going to be making a credit card video anytime soon after that one. And if he does, it's just going to be, either how you utilize credit cards to expand your wealth, or how credit cards evaporate your wealth. I don't think he's going to go much further than that. But yeah.
Well, that was fun, and I'm sure he did exactly what we did exactly what he expected from the video. But I was just curious because that was just a nice little jab.
It only hit the people who wanted to let it hit them, though. That's all. Because, like, if he's talking about the like the grifters, how many of the grifters actually watch the video? How many of the grifters' audience actually watch the video?
If he was going to call out any of the co-hosts on the show, he could call out Matt for being fans of two teams that are blue and orange.
I don't know what that has to do with what, but
sure. It was a joke because it's about as relevant as calling out Lani for links. It was meant to be funny.
No, that's fair.
I chuckled a bit. It's okay.
Silly double reference, so it's fine.
I'm still not going to stop because I have a lot of money in annual fees, and people are learning. If you're, like I said, if you're learning from me, you want to respect that, and you want to, grab a card. Yes, please use my link. And guess what, y'all? My referral link is on my page.
Grifter, you shill. All you're doing is for the money. Shame on you. You're not giving any real value.
I'm not giving any real value whatsoever. I am in it for 10,000 Chase UR points.
I was gonna say 10,000 MR points, so like $600. Not even $600. That's like what? $60?
It's $60. All right.
Or I can just move all my content over there to OnlyFans and y'all can pay up front.
Okay, but people getting an OnlyFans just to watch your content is kind of an ultimate flex, Lani.
That would be an ultimate flex and a lot of explaining to a lot of
people. Can you imagine? Can you imagine all the player twos when they see OnlyFans on the credit card?
Like, there's no way out of that. But babe, I swear.
It's Call Me Lani.
It's
It's
not a
Lani.
woman. It's a dude. Your OnlyFans in a dude?
No, it's not like that. I promise. It's just credit cards. He doesn't what with credit cards?
Toto, we're not in Kansas anymore. All right. Lani, what's your
Anyway.
topic for the week?
All right, let's just go ahead and transition away from that.
It's gonna be a rough one.
It's going to be a rough one. So my topic this week: the credit card changes. Lots of credit card changes recently. Lots of refreshes. Some announced, some not announced. Built. Seemingly are getting less profitable, and that's just me saying that. Where looking at some of these new refreshes and some of these credits and some of the comments from the community, Lyft and Uber credits, Instacart credits, JSX credit. You're not seeing any real value in there. That's what I mean by less profitable to the average consumer versus the needs and the wants, the stuff they're actually going to need from their card or what they actually want from their card. Do you think that with the rise of these refreshes in the corresponding annual fees, that credit card people are going to be less interested, and thus leading to more card holders positioning self for the end game to like their exit strategy, or just less applications? I don't need as many cards anymore because now I have too many cards that are offering me too many credits or perks that I don't need for high annual fees. So, Matt, I'm going to start with you first.
Yeah, I don't know if so. In terms of dynamics of like the game, I don't think we're going to see too many dynamic changes, but I think you'll see people who are contemplating jumping in, potentially turning away, just because like, what is the value prop of a 695 Sapphire Reserve if you only travel once or twice a year, right? How much is lounge access really worth it to me if I barely get to my gate on time, right? And these are general questions anyway. So with the changes and things being less profitable to the average consumer, I think there will be some folks in the game who will jump to some more like end game ready or sort of end game type setups where you may see some folks moving over to Bank of America at the end of the day and just saying, you know what, if I get preferred platinum honors with their preferred reward system and I can bank what is it, at least 100,000 in their system, and I can get 2.62% everything with their unlimited cash rewards card and up to 5.25% on $10,000 in spend every year on like, hold on, I'm pulling up the customized cash. 5.25% and like gas or EV charging, internet, phone plans, streaming, dining, travel, things like that. Like weirdly, groceries isn't an option there. Oh, it's a 2% at groceries and household clubs. Okay, cool. But folks may jump to that sort of, what is going to be the easiest for me. I do think there are folks who are going to say that the annual fees are going to be too much of a hassle and they're going to streamline down to one or two cards, or they'll go from like 5 issuers to 3, or they'll go from 4 issuers to 2, maybe. So I do think there will be some change there. But those of us who are like knee deep in, or not knee deep is switching out from 5 to 3. Those of us like chest and neck deep in the game, we're still going to pay our annual fees. We're still going to deal with the less profitable refreshes and the breakage that the card issuer and the co-brand partner is going to implement, because we're going to re-break it and then tell everybody how we re-broke it so that they can re-break the re-break that we did. It's just going to be, yeah, exactly. r/churning, churning subreddit's not going anywhere. The credit card subreddit isn't going anywhere. The
Stacking
flyer
points
talk
isn't going anywhere.
area, well, like we don't engage on things like at the level of churning or the manufactured spend subreddit or the, you know, some of these other areas of credit card. It's not news, and I don't want to say debauchery, but somewhere between news and debauchery that credit card Reddit can be in total.
The gray
Like,
area of credit cards.
We'll just call it the Wild
Gray.
West.
No, remember how I said that people love drama? Credit card.
The deadly
Reddit.
desert of credit card. Sorry. Yes. No, Lani, what you're saying?
Oh, I said, you remember how I said how people love drama? Credit card Reddit.
Oh yeah.
Like there's very little positive stuff, and one person's like, I had a bad customer service experience, and that thing blows up. People just like the negativity. People just like the drama. Credit card Reddit.
It's a place, man. Especially, heaven forbid you ask a question in the news and updates section of the churning subreddit. Oh gosh. But yeah, no, I do think there may be some folks who will move to sort of endgame setups, but I don't think you're going to see too many people who are like knee and waist and neck deep in the game just go, nope, I'm done. I'm going to Bank of America for 2.62% everything. So we'll see what happens.
Cool. RJ, you're next. What do you think?
So I do think we're going to see some downsizing until and unless the issuers get more creative. Now, new card signups is a huge boost for the actual like stock prices and stuff, like when they do their calls to investors and all of that. So they want to keep that up. They want to keep swipes up. Like banks are in it for themselves, as we often say, but they also need to keep the customers at least partially happy. The ones that are not doing subprime stuff, right? The ones that are not charging like through the nose just to get people like trapped into debt. And most of the main issuers are not doing that kind of subprime stuff. They all have a touch of it, right? Because that's part of the industry. But like Amex and Chase and even Capital One, for the most part, are not, Credit One, right? So I think that we're going to see things slow down, I think overall as an industry, and then somebody's going to get creative. Amex is going to put out a version of like the everyday card where if you swipe it 30 times, you get like a 0.5 boost on everything or something. They're going to bring back that idea. Chase is going to put something on, the flex that gets people swiping like crazy. Like they're going to come up with carrots, because unfortunately for them, we're kind of the sticks to their stock prices, right? If we just stop using their cards like en masse because the economy sucks and because of other things, like they're in trouble. Like people are getting fired at that point, right? Or reassigned to the mailroom in those cases, right? Like I think COVID messed up a lot of people's perception of what an economic downturn was, because yes, COVID was terrible. But the thing with COVID is people were mostly just working from home. So there was a lot of online retail. There was a ton of online spend in a way that like in 2008 there wasn't. And partly it was because of how the internet was in 2008, but also just everybody was broke, or the majority of people were broke in 2008. So I think if we go through kind of that type of downturn where people just are not spending money or spending money in very select ways, banks are going to have to put sweeteners in to get people to swipe their cards. Like I might not close cards, but I might just not use as many cards to sort of concentrate my points. And banks are going to want to prevent that. So they're going to want to put sweeteners on cards. They're going to want to put co-brands are going to offer, you know, Hilton double points, or, if you do this stay, you might get your fourth night free or third night free, right? Like they're going to start doing stuff like that. And we've already seen that a little bit to keep people swiping their cards, to keep people signing up. They're going to do elevated sign up bonuses. They're going to do things like that. I think because they want people to they want people to see things are going bad, but also keep swiping their cards. So I think they're in a really pendulous position of like they need to tighten up their own stuff, but they also need to loosen up stuff to get people approved so people will swipe their cards and they'll get new signups, which is ultimately what they want because of their stock price. So they're in a place where they are sort of beholden to us while also kind of hating us and but also needing us. So I think it is more exposed, that dynamic is more exposed during times of economic hardship than economic boom, right? When everybody's making good money and spending money, like it's not like they can have less sign-up bonuses because people are still going to spend money. When it's something like this, they have to sweeten things up. So I'm really interested to see what happens this year. I don't know. I think even the people in our community, I think will downsize a little bit or just sock drawer a bunch of stuff and sort of go to a smaller setup, even if they're not closing things, even if they're not cutting banks out. I think very few people are going to go to who are points people are going to go to an all cashback unless you have enough where that cashback matters. Like if you have 300,000 you can park at Bank of America, you probably already have though. So I don't think it's quite as much people move to that. And if you went to if you went to US Bank for the Smartly card, you can't get your money out right now really easily anyway. So you're not going to move to Bank of America at all.
Yep. I don't disagree with that. Tariq, what's your thoughts?
So, in regards to high annual fee, like annual fee cards, I don't think we'll see a lot of people kind of stray away from people like you, Lani, or people that like to criticize the credit card community that are not in the credit card community, but they have like a platinum and a sapphire reserve, or they have all three of the heavy hitter premium travel cards because the annual fees are just going to go up. They're going to have credits, and not only credits to justify. We talked about the United cards recently. I don't think if I get the United Explorer, I don't think I'd ever use JSX. I don't think I will ever use it. I watched YouTube videos to review it, and I'm like, so y'all are flying on Embraers willingly? No, thanks. Like, even if it is like a 1-2 setup versus like a 2-2 regional jet. I see that kind of going down. Some people are just going to go to one premium travel card if they're going to have the premium travel card, or to someone like me where they may not, like, they'll have just like the point transfer card. I think something else like we'll see is people that don't really do travel. There might just be more of the influx to no annual fee cashback cards because they don't have the money to just funnel to annual fees, even if it is a credit they're trying to justify the annual fee, the forbidden word that'll put me in the corner. So I think that's something that we can see more, as we'll just see, like, you don't have to try to worry about justifying the annual fee if you don't pay an annual fee. There's plenty of cards and there's plenty of YouTubers who focus on like kind of the primary, like maximizing cash back, RJ Financials 5% on all the things. So you can, get the max cash back versus trying to do like a travel setup and you're paying, at the minimum, like $500+ in annual fees. Most people have a common their annual fees if they're really playing the game like you're shoulder deep, like Matt said. So I think because of all the credits, people like, and with the economy going the way it is and things getting more expensive, they may look at, am I really even traveling enough to justify having these cards? Do I need to have this $95 Sapphire Preferred, this $150 Hilton Surpass, this $550 Hilton Aspire, so on and so on. I think that will people start to tailor their budget and see, kind of look at their setup and see where they can trim the fat. So that's my thing. I think that's where I'm going. Like, all these credits, if you're not using them, they're probably just going to start. Maybe not, like I said, not canceling the cards, but downgrading it to no annual fee option, and then just finding what cards work for them better. So we'll probably see more credit card audits now.
Don't downgrade on the United Gateway card. That card does absolutely nothing for you. Like, stop at blue. Stop at blue.
What is worse, the United Gateway or the Delta Blue?
Does the United Gateway still give you the 25 boost on mileage plus X?
It does, actually.
Delta Blue.
Delta Blue.
The Delta
Good
Blue
call.
is a terrible, terrible card.
Good call out on that one, Tariq.
Tariq's next application is going to be the United Gateway.
Tariq's going to sign up for the Gateway just so he can get the 25% boost in PX.
Okay, I'm going to close that tab.
It was open.
Hey, I just signed up for the business green for the 25,000 point sub, so I am in no position to talk.
I mean, there's somewhat of a sign-up bonus on the United Gateway. I think it's, what, 30,000 miles?
It's like 30,000 miles on 1,000 spend. RJ, that wasn't the only credit card move you've made recently.
I have made a couple of others, yes.
Yeah. All right, so we'll jump over to my topic, which kind of dovetails Lani's a little bit and may once again sound like I'm repeating something that was literally just said. Just my luck. Anyway, we're going to jump in with, given the current economic climate, do you think we're going to see a retreat from folks on the fringes of points and miles, whether it's credit card newbies or those who only do like a cherry-picked redemption here and there, maybe some cashback folks, or we're going to see those folks kind of retreat, and because they're retreating from jumping in and not acquiring cards, and maybe using less points, could there be a future boom cycle of amazing deals and like really great redemption options in the I'll say medium future, because who knows how long this manufactured crisis is going to go on. RJ, I'll throw to you first.
So here's the thing that I think we don't talk enough about people who are not credit card people or are on the fringes. They don't pay attention to credit card stuff. Like, if you ask most of our friends that are not credit card people, who have credit cards but are not like deep credit card people, to name 5 credits on their cards total, most of them probably couldn't hit all 5. Like, they know there's an annual fee, maybe if it's close to when it hit. Like, and I'm being serious. Like, I know people who have annual fee cards who just are like, oh yeah, there's an annual fee. I guess my bill's higher this month, and then they pay it, and then they don't think about it for 11 months and, you know, 30 days or whatever, right? Like, it's just not something they're caring about that much. We all care about it because we're putting, $3,000 of annual fees if you have a bunch of the higher end cards. So it becomes this thing of like the people who are just in the game, quote, in the game, as in, well, I need credit cards because I spend money and then I get paid and then I pay my credit cards. So they're not like carrying balances. They're not sort of acting financially irresponsible. They just have some credit cards. Maybe they, fly Delta and they got, because the gold is all over the Delta website. Maybe they just clicked the button because they wanted $500 off one flight, and then they like got a bunch of miles and they sit there forever. Like, there are people like that just have zero idea, and then they pay the $150 after the first year, and then they never think about it until they pay the $150 again, and they use the card for just whatever. Like, I don't think those people are going to change. I do think the people that are they're going from that mindset into the game because they stumbled on this podcast or they work with one of us. And I have a friend who, like, I told her I got the Delta Reserve and she's like, you didn't use my link? Like, that was her first response to me because she is just in the game enough to know that referral links are a thing, but like doesn't really understand product change. Just because it's not something that she ever does, right? Like she doesn't product change, so she didn't know that that was an option, but she knows referral links are a thing because she got her husband to sign up for something through hers, right? So like there are people who know just enough to where they might sort of get interested in this, and this might turn it off. But also like I think we see annual fees differently than most normal people as well. Like, if you told somebody that you just pay $500 and try it out for a year, if you don't like it, cancel it. Like, for a lot of us, we're like, I'm not going to pay a $500 annual fee on this ecosystem with this, and this. And they're like, $500 to try something out? Yeah, I've spent $500 on worse. And they try it out and they don't like it and they close it, or they try it out and they like it and they keep it open. Like, most normal people who have a little bit of disposable income are far more blasé about most of this than we are. I can be blasé because I am in a position where if I'm blasé about $500, I'm probably not like going to be in financial ruin at this point of my life. But there was a time when I was not able to be blasé about anything. A $25 like dinner at the wrong time was going to screw me up for a week, right? Like these are things that happen at different points in your life. So I think if you're somebody who was thinking about credit cards and then you lose your job, yeah, you're probably out. And that's going to happen to a lot of people. And there are people who were getting into credit cards and then get credit card debt from what's about to happen. And those people are going to be out too. So I think those people on the fringes are the most vulnerable to sort of either get into the hobby poorly because they go on YouTube and they're listening to people who are pointing them in the wrong direction because this is going to be a hot topic and now they're going to get turned around, or they're just going to look at it and say, right now I'm not traveling right now, so why would I be in this game? Like they don't understand the idea of accruing points to do something, right? Just because it's not something most people think about. Like they don't think about it the way we do. Like, and I think we need to remember that when we're sort of wish casting onto the general public. I have a lot of conversations about credit cards with people who don't like credit cards because it informs me when I talk about sort of the general public quote, right? Like it's hard to hear some of the things they tell me, but I need to hear the things they tell me so I understand how people think that are not in our Discord or listen to this podcast or are one of my friends who are into credit cards. Like as much as I have to bite my tongue, and y'all know how much I hate biting my tongue, like I have to listen to it to understand what people are going through and thinking in the realm of I kind of like credit cards, but I don't like credit cards like you like credit cards. It's like if you're a really big fan of something, say Star Wars and Darth Vader, for example, as somebody might have a Darth Vader behind them. And like I was like, Darth Vader's like Obi-Wan Kenobi's father, right? Like that might send blood pressure up into somebody's chest. But like if I like kind of watched a movie 30 years ago, I don't know. So like we have to remember that we are the aberration and not sort of the standard.
I gotta say,
No.
you made me clutch my pearls. Don't ever don't ever say that again.
I know that Darth Vader is not Obi-Wan Kenobi's father. I just want to put that on the record. I do in fact know that.
No, that definitely all makes sense. Lonnie, I know you kind of had similar thoughts, but your thoughts here.
Yeah, so the first thing is I'm gonna agree with RJ on the fringes of points and miles. Well, will we see a retreat? Nah, probably not. Like either you're in it or you're not in it. And I think for the people that are not in it, like she said, like the friend that just has maybe a high annual fee card and she's like, oh, I got to pay my annual fee. It's what it costs to hold the card and go on with their life, not realizing that there's additional value that they be pulling from that card. Um, I think those would be the only people that would not necessarily retreat, but like have a come to Jesus moment. Like, oh, wait a sec, I don't want this anymore. But they never had it in the first place. They paid for it, but they never really had it in the first place. Um, but they're not really heavy points and miles people. These are the people that probably make 60,000 points on that card a year in a good year. Now, going to the second part of the question, the future boom cycle of amazing deals. I'm actually gonna say no. We're not really gonna see it as much. One is because all these partners, brands and partners that have their airline miles, their hotel points, etc. These are basically like dynamic fluid gift cards where they're like, hey, we got 6 billion points out there and nobody's using them. We already win. Like,
Yeah.
they're not losing anything by us not using those points. So there's no reason for them to be like, oh, let's do a great deal where people can use their points and take up the space in our hotels and take up seats on our flight versus people that will pay cash. And I don't necessarily see that happening. Now, what I do see happening is people like ourselves, and I'm just going to go back and say pandemic, bring up that little 4 years right there. Because even for like someone like myself, I stopped traveling, but it didn't take travel fully away from me. Just because I wasn't hopping on a flight as much does not mean that I wasn't thinking about it. Where I call it what you want. I saved up all those points across that entire pandemic, waiting for, the not necessarily revenge travel, but for everything to start opening up. When everything started opening up, I was net positive. I, w- I'm still sitting on points at this at this exact moment where I'm from pandemic period, that time frame, where I'm like, where do you want to go? Cool, let's just do it. Let's just go. Let's just do this. You remember, as my co-host remember last year, I was somewhere like every 2 weeks at the end of the year. Like literally just like book it, book it, book it, book it, book it. Um, I can actually see if this economy keeps going in this way that a lot of people are fearing per the news. I'm not going to get into the politics of it all. But if it goes in that manner, first thing is chances are your spending is going to go down. But just because your spending goes down doesn't mean that your travel has to go up. There's going to be some people that burn it and get it out of the way, and others, or some people might just not change their method of operation. Like, hey, we only go take 2 trips a year. Continue taking 2 trips a year. But for if your spending's going down, yes, like I said, you might have the people that burn their points, but others are going to be like, you know what? I'm going to actually take this as an opportunity to not do nothing and just earn as many points as I possibly can. So when things actually get better, I'll be on the positive end of it all. Where now instead of getting like a studio, now it's time for me to book that suite. Now it's time for me to take that aspirational trip. Now it's time for me to check out a first class international seat. Those types of things. That's the way that I see it unfolding.
Oh, makes sense. Um, Tariq, your thoughts here.
So one, I wanted to acknowledge like when RJ was talking about the people that aren't in like that have the travel cards but aren't deeply involved in the game that we are, that don't even use the benefits. I think I mentioned it either the last podcast, the podcast before, but my mom having the United Explorer. We were talking the other day, and she was just like, "Yeah, I need to probably do some travel. I got these points, and I got like the like I get like 2 like lounge passes." And I'm like, "Yes, mom, you have the Explorer. You get 2 club lounge passes, and if you're not going to use them, find a way to give them to me if you can." But that's just a me thing. But I mean, I think for those, when it comes to, like you said, the fringes of points, the people who are going to use them are still going to use them because they know that point redemptions are going to be less out of pocket. I mean, I've only paid for 1 hotel cash since I been in the game, and that was just because they had like a pretty sweet deal on IHG. Like, y'all know me with high-end points, so I don't see that. Like the people that are in the game that have the points and miles, they're going to use their points and miles. And to that extent, when they're talking about like the boom cycle of maintenance deals, I'm gonna be like, I'm leaning with Lani. No, I don't think they're going to have influx of amazing deals, because while there may or may not be some of the redemptions, there is a side of travel that people that just don't use points or don't even have the credit cards. I've seen a lot. Like I said, I know we talked about how the credit card community is a niche in the personal finance, kind of like a subset of the personal finance niche. I pay attention to the personal finance niche. People will buy now, pay later on any and every trip. For God's sakes, you can Klarna a doggone burrito bowl from Chipotle if you order on DoorDash now. So these travel brands are going to get their money regardless. And yeah, the economy, the news is going to scare the crap out of some people. But for the most part, like my generation, Gen Z, no. Either they're going to be kind of tightening the purse strings, or they're just going to YOLO and not care. And they're going to do the trip. It may be on Spirit economy, middle seat in the back row by the toilet, but they're going to go. And no, it might even just be on Klarna or Afterpay or you name your buy now, pay later. And they're going to do the crappy Airbnb because they don't do hotels. And as much as I hate seeing those stupid commercials, they're going to be an Airbnb because it's probably going to be a group, and they're going to try to split the costs, and it's probably going to be a fight. And we know different groups are not going to be the same. So travel, they're still going to travel the way that they do. I don't see the big influx unless, like we said, the world shuts down and there's not going to be and there's not travel like at all. And then when they're able to open up the travel, it's like, hey, we want you back. So we have all these special deals. So I say that to say, I think it's going to be fine. Like, yeah, the climate right now, it might just be a blip. I'm hoping it's a blip. We're only in month 4, so we'll see what happens, but I think we'll be okay. And so, I think some travel industries have bigger problems, like Southwest figuring out when they're going to file Chapter 7. So I think the world will be turning just fine.
All right. Oh, that all makes sense. I was just thinking of things like demand for US Canada travel dropping to like 70%, dropping by 70%. Maybe there'd be like Air Canada value at some point, but you know, we can dream, but dreams don't always come true. Well, and so do I. Can't wait for you to kill mine. Anyway, RJ, your topic of the week.
So I am interested in what you guys think of this one, just because I think it's a fun little one. If you could take any co-branded card and turn it into a transferable points earning card, which one would you pick and why? I did put, just for some context, like if you pick the Aspire, the Hilton category just becomes a hotel category, but you don't get any like boost from status. So it would just be the 14x. I'm even letting you pick the ecosystem because I'm interested to see how you would gamify things. So, Tariq, I'm going to go to you first, sir. What do you think?
Ooh, I have a couple options that I was thinking. First one that I was thinking, and the one that I was going with is, well, I'm just gonna say it out already. It's gonna be a Chase. It's gonna be Chase. No shock to anybody. But I was thinking could do the Hilton Surpass, make that an ultimate rewards earning card. And even if we just have to up the annual fee to like $250, cool. Keep the travel credit. It'll probably, instead of being the quarterly Hilton credit, it'll be a quarterly $50 hotel credit in the Chase Travel Portal, which
Feels
sort of,
gross.
I know, but at the same time, though, quarterly $50 credits. I mean, I still would probably not use it, but at the same time, it's better than just the one $50 credit. Maybe. Eh. The only other option that I was thinking that would be a good one would also be the Choice Privileges MasterCard, the 95 annual fee one, making that the UR earning card, just so Chase can get gas stations and grocery on a card. And at 5x for that would be pretty nice. And then also phone plans and, the occasional home improvement. So those are probably my options. And it just depends on if I want to do 14x Chaser hotels or, just the 12x Chase for hotels, probably through the travel portal. But online shopping and 3x ultimate reward points, damn, that's a powerful card. Yeah, Hilton Surpass, make that make that just the Sapphire preferred. That honestly, hey Chase, just do that. Like, I'm not asking for much. And maybe I am with the Surpass, but
That's literally asking
That's
for the
a
moon.
I know.
that's a like $1,900 credit card if you just made that a UR card.
So it's probably the Sapphire Reserve.
Tariq's like, I got my first annual fee card. It's $3,000 a year.
But
Plus
does
the things it does.
does all the things.
Does all the things. Lani, what would be your card? What would be your ecosystem?
Just going back to Tariq, this is the modular card that Matt's been wishing and hoping for and throwing pennies into the well for forever, actually. And I would pay $3,000 for one card that does all the things,
Yes.
including I get to like have a toggle switch that says what points I earn when I do it. That would be the best part. Like, switch it over here, earn. Like, as RJ, going to your question, if it's a co-branded card, I'm just going to use Hilton because that's what Tariq said. Like, toggle switch, I'm earning Hilton points. Toggle switch, I'm earning MR points. To have that, that's worth $300 a year right there. Add that to my annual fee. We're at $3,300 a year now. But anyway, unfortunately, I'm going to have to agree with Tariq, and I'm also probably would say the Surpass card, if it could just be transferable points, because it's so well-rounded, especially just on the average consumer's average everyday spend. But I would say any hotel card. Just take any hotel card and make it transferable points, and I think we'll be good to go. Not to say I prefer Hilton or Hyatt or Marriott.
Maybe not the Hyatt card.
Or I didn't want to leave anyone out. I want to be inclusive. Or the IHG. IHG would probably actually be my other one because it's so well rounded with its 357 category outside of the hotel. So yeah, that'll be my answer. It's actually short and sweet.
Nice. Matt, Mr. I know all of the credit cards. Tell me about all of the credit cards you would make into Wells Fargo credit cards.
Well, this is awkward because I was also going to make the Hilton Surpass the Wells Fargo card. It just stands to reason just how strong the Surpass is as a co-branded card. It is probably the best overall co-branded card. Let me be a little different then and say, what if we took the Aspire and made it a Wells Fargo card? And you get the elevated hotel earnings, you get elevated rental car booking earnings, which you don't typically see on a bank issue card. That usually just falls into travel, and Wells took other travel categories that are typically in travel and elevated them with Journey. So why couldn't Beyond be a crazy high hotel earning credit card, a pretty decent card for rental cars? Yeah, it's 7 times dining. Well, 7 times dining on a transferable currency card. Everybody would sign up for that card immediately. And 3x everything else. I mean, everybody would love the 3 times point earning card that is cash out at 1 cent per point. So yeah, I'll just be the contrarian just because we kind of needed it. The Aspire as a Wells Fargo card. If the Aspire was the Journey, if the Aspire was the Autograph Beyond, everyone would sign up for that card.
So
Everyone would forget the Wells Fargo was a bad bank at one point.
This is the Hilton episode.
So this is awkward because I'm also picking a Hilton card. But I am gonna as much as I, go back and forth on my love or not for the business cards, I'm gonna pick the Hilton Honors Business because it would be 12x on hotels, 5x everything
5 times
else.
everything else.
And then I just wouldn't have to worry about what category. I'd have 100,000 to play with for the 5x, not have to worry about what category I'm in, thinking about, and then I'm all set. And I pick Amex, of course, because then I can just send them to Hilton and 10x.
5x.
So
Jesus Christ.
I've got 24x for Hilton for hotels, and I've got 10x for everything else. I could stay at a non-standard room at a Hilton for like 3 days. It'd be great.
What? RJ picking a room that's got a room in it?
It does happen occasionally, but only if the points are the same as the standard room. That's when I will go up to a non-standard room. But yeah, no, Hilton has really good cards, guys. One day, Tariq and I, probably on a live, need to have a debate between higher points but easier to earn versus low points but harder to earn, and see how that debate goes out. I think that'd be a good live debate.
That would be a fun one.
Yeah, it won't be next week because Josh Gable is joining Matt and I to do a Star Trek draft for the Bridge Cruise, which will be very nerdy and very fun, and we'll answer some credit card questions too, I promise.
Yeah, let me know when y'all get to the credit card portion.
No. Tariq just absolutely noping on that one. Nope. Which I guess is fair. So, yeah, that'll do it for our topics for the week. Thank you so much, everyone, for watching this week's episode. RJ, if we wanted to find you in the vast expanse of the internet, what is the best place for that?
You can find me in the Stack Your Points Discord saying math is dumb. That's my usual MO.
It is, in fact, but you've been a little off the math is dumb train of late.
Look,
You've done math a little bit.
I've got a bunch of clawbacks, so I'm having to do math to get Amex points back. I actually don't currently have an American Express personal platinum at the moment. It is a second green for reasons. If you want to know those reasons, join the Discord. We'll tell you about it there.
There you go. Heard it here first. Lani, if folks wanted to find you on the internet, where's the best place to do that?
I have a little corner on YouTube called Call Me Lani. It's CALLMELANI. And that is my YouTube channel. And if I'm not there, you can find me in the Stack Your Points Discord.
Fantastic. Tariq, best place to find you on the vast expanses of the internet?
In a corner somewhere. But aside from that,
good answer.
The Stack Your Points Discord, avoiding our cent per point hell because I like math and that makes my brain hurt. Shout out to Spaithco and everyone else that is in there as active members, but that's just not me. And eventually dropping that YouTube video where now I got to find out if I'm going to be a grifter when I drop it.
Just stop. You're not dropping that video. I'm not going to allow this any longer. It's not coming out.
Just the Discord.
It's not coming out. It's not coming.
Oof. Yeah, no, I don't even know how to reply to that one. That's rough.
It's like the little car on the DoorDash app that just keeps like going around the block, but never actually like makes it to your front door until you. Yeah.
Oh, that's worse. Then they have to like.
Tariq is in that car. He ate your food, so I'm just letting you know. Just call customer service because it ain't coming.
Yo. This isn't just shots fired. This is buckshot fired. Lani went hunting.
And that is how you call out a creator, Ramit Sadie.
That's That's true. That just happened. All right. Well, you can find me on the Matt Clausen YouTube channel. You can also find me on the Stack Your Points Discord. You can find me occasionally on my channel going live. You can find me on the Stack Your Points lives. That's going to be, or the Stack Your Lives, whatever we're going to call it, on Thursdays. We don't have a name for it yet. This week we've got Josh Giebel joining the live. It's going to be incredibly nerdy, incredibly fun. Please check it out. And yeah, if you want to leave a comment on any of our videos, please use the YouTube section for the YouTube videos for comments. You can join the Stack Your Points Discord, link always in the description. Drop us a like and subscribe here on YouTube if you like what we do on the podcatcher of your choice. Those episodes come out Saturday mornings. We would appreciate 5 stars, 5 hearts, whatever your podcatcher encourages to encourage discovery. We would appreciate it. Thanks so much for watching this week. We will see you next week, same time.